3, 2, 1, go!
Hey folks, Aaron here. Yes, I'm still here. I have not disappeared off of the face of the planet. I know it has been months since my last review, and I apologize greatly for the few people that actually do watch my reviews. I'm so sorry. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I know I had a small following. I mean, as of right now, I'm hit 2,300 something subscribers, which, by the way, listen, that's no chump change. Thank you guys for following me and still subscribing to my channel, even though I barely do any reviews. But that brings me into what this whole video is about, because 2020, as you guys know, has been chaos for obvious reasons. We won't talk about what's obviously going on because you guys hear it probably from every news outlet. You probably are experiencing it somehow in your life, and you don't need to keep hearing about it, trust me. So we're not going to talk about that. But 2020 has definitely been rough because, it's been all over the place. I thought that with a lot of stuff that happened during March and April, I would be able to kind of calm down from work. I might be able to go back to YouTube. I even made a video, I think, talking about how I would come back and do some reviews and stuff like that. Didn't happen because, as you guys know, I don't talk about my personal life in terms of work. I can't do that because if I do, then my accounts all get watched and stuff like that, so I don't want to do that. But the thing is that for my job, I'm still considered a first responder, so I can't, just stop, doing that. People are talking about how they had like tons of breaks, they got unemployment, they were doing like this. I was working during this whole pandemic. I'm still working during this pandemic. Thank God. I'm happy to God that I have a job. As many of you guys have lost your jobs, I'm so sorry to hear for several of you. I've known personal friends that have lost jobs because of the whole pandemic and the issues that have caused by it. But, I didn't get the luxury of kind of just relaxing and sitting down and doing nothing. Unfortunately, I still had to work. Even though I had days where I was only working sometimes once or twice a week, I still had to work. And, dealing with all this stuff in the pandemic, dealing with just the world in general was definitely not the easiest thing in the world. But that being said, it's something that YouTube's always been the back burner of mine. It's always like a third extra job, like a little extra side pocket money that I could have. And beyond even that, though, like what I established this channel for was to give you guys reviews that were like you just talking with a friend. And I mentioned this so many times because it's something that I still believe is probably the best way to do reviews. I think that when you go too critical into stuff, you start getting this kind of jaded edge of what you feel like anime is. And I noticed it from my friends. I noticed from a lot of people in the anime community because they talk about a series and they just have hate, or they have almost too much love for a series. There's nothing wrong with liking a series. Like, I'm really liking a lot of stuff recently. I loved I loved God of High School. People were like mad about it. I loved it personally. I loved the animation, the kind of just style of it. Thought it was amazing, even though it was all over the place. I did a review on that. If you want to go check that out, it's on my channel. It's actually the last review I did before my long hiatus off of YouTube. But I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen, is it Jujutsu Kaisen or Kaisen? I always get that name messed up. I don't know why. I think it's just the flow of words for me has always been messed up. I'm watching that recently. I'm watching the Hero Higurashi, which I'm loving because I love Higurashi in general. I'm watching Great Pretender, which I'd never gotten into before, and I'm finally getting into it now on Netflix, and I'm freaking loving that show. It's so amazing. And there's tons of other stuff I'm watching. I'm watching Moriarty the Patriot, which is pretty good. It's it's not great, but it's good for what it is. And I'm watching other shows too. So I'm watching a lot of modern stuff. But here's where I want to go back with something. And I know you guys might not like it. It's okay if you don't want to have this style coming to you, because it's definitely going to turn some people away from my channel. It's okay. It is what it is. I'm kind of used to that stuff already. But what I want to do is I kind of want to go back to the older anime reviews I used to do. And I say that because here's what people don't understand. Ironically, my older reviews have done always significantly better than my newer stuff. And I noticed that, like, for example, how I comment on stuff like my Steins Gate review occasionally still pops up, and that amazes me because it's like my first review ever on my channel. I saw people mention something about Corpse Party. I saw someone just comment recently about Shuffle. And it mystifies me because, I'm still getting a little bit of, extra income from YouTube, not because of my newer stuff, but because of the stuff I made back in 2015. And it's crazy, but it kind of reminded me that that's what I love doing. That's what I aimed originally to do, not give out just new anime reviews and just talk about the newer stuff. I know the newer stuff gets traction. I know it gets tons of Google hits and people love it and stuff like that. But my channel was not made for that. My channel was made always to talk about all anime. And I've reviewed tons and tons of stuff already on my channel. I've gone through maybe a couple hundred, maybe no BS, maybe like 300 reviews in my channel before, and I kind of want to go back to that style again. I want to go back to older stuff, and I want to talk about stuff that I haven't talked about, or if I have reviewed it already, I kind of want to just re-talk about it and give it a new take, because I actually been watching older stuff too that I've seen before. And it's funny because now I'm 30 years old. I turned 30 this year. Yes, I'm 30 years old. That's so wild to say when I say it out loud. But I turned 30 this year, and I realized that I'm like, oh, you know, some of these shows that I used to love, either I love more now or slightly less. And it's not because it's per se been done bad. It's just my take on it now has changed. My my maturity level's changed. So like, for example, a lot of like the whole high school romance, I'm watching it now and disliking it a little bit more for certain reasons, and sometimes liking it more because it's realistic. It's nuts. And by the way, if you hear any background talk, there's people around not that far away from me. I'm kind of busy. It's like 4 o'clock as of right now recording this, so I apologize. But it's nuts because my maturity has changed when it comes to anime, like especially the older stuff. So a lot of older stuff I'm either liking more or less now. And it's wild. I kind of want to go back to talk about some of these older shows and just mention them again and kind of restart what I started on here. It doesn't mean I'm going to redo all my old reviews. No. By no definition, I don't want to do that, because I feel like that would be kind of a gut punch to my older reviews too, and I kind of want to keep those as they are. What I want to do is I want to talk about stuff that is just shows that aren't so happening right now. Shows that happened, maybe a couple years ago, maybe that I didn't talk about before, whatever. I plan on doing that. I know some people might have issues with it, but don't worry. Listen, if you wanted to hear about newer stuff, I got you there. I'm still gonna be reviewing newer stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's, I'll probably pop up with shows when they finish. I'll try to have reviews out when I can. The biggest thing is when I can. It's hard to do with my full-time job and my secondary job. It doesn't give me a lot of wiggle room, because I do want to have free time. I want to have the ability to watch anime and to play games and to read, etc., and to write. These are things that I'm very passionate about. And YouTube, as much as I love it, I love you guys for watching my videos, and I appreciate you guys all the time for doing it, because it shows that you guys care about my reviews and my videos. I can't solely focus on this. No matter how much I want to, I can't. It's not what I'm trying to think of the exact word. It's not that it's not important. It's just that it's not necessary for me to focus on this more than anything else, or it's not my prerogative to focus on this. Probably that's the best way I could look for it. And that being said, it is what it is. It's not. I don't want you guys to dislike me for not bringing out news reviews, because I know I've gotten some stuff from people from in the past going, why don't you review this? Why don't you review that? And when I wouldn't get to it, or I couldn't get to it, I would get like a little bit of dislikes and stuff like that. And I know a lot of my recent videos have got a lot of dislikes. I don't know per se why. It could be just haters or whatever. I'm kind of used to that. It doesn't bother me. And I always think, hey, even if someone's trying to dislike a video to hurt you, it's actually good, because that means it still clicks on your video. Still adds up to your thing. So you're still giving me a few cents, a few pennies. Even if you only click for 1 second just to hit dislike, thank you. You still gave me something in the process, so I appreciate it. But I do appreciate likes. That they're nicer to me. Likes are something I appreciate more. And if you do want to subscribe to my channel, please do so if you want to. But yeah, so the style of things is going to change slightly, not dramatically. It's just slightly. Two things are going to happen first before I start doing this kind of venture towards reviving my YouTube channel, which is not going to ever per se happen. I'm going to try, keyword. I want to get a new webcam. My webcam is a Logitech. I think it's one of the nicer brands of Logitech, but it was like an $80 webcam. It's old. There's been different models I've been looking at. One of which is a Razer with a ring light, which would really help me out, because I do a lot of my reviews at night. And if you notice, right now I got the ambient light outside because it's still sun, still sun's out there. It's just setting right now, but it's still there. It makes my room's getting pitch black at one point. It'll get to a point where then I have to turn lights on. If I turn too many lights on, you think the reflection on my glass is bad. Now it's gonna get 100 times worse. It kind of happens, unfortunately. So I do want to get a ring light, because I've seen how it works, and I've kind of messed with it before in the past, and in other adventures, like I went to other places to do it. And I'm like, oh, this actually might be good for the videos if I want to make any more new videos in general. So I'm definitely going to think of doing that. So I'm going to upgrade to that first. That's my priority right now, is to upgrade that. I'm going to do a next paycheck. Not this paycheck, because I spent a lot of money this paycheck. I'm going to do next paycheck. Next, I want to do more live streams. Live streams to me are always more fun because I get to talk in more real time with you guys. I get to just kind of interact with you guys. Even if I only have like 10 people there, hey, listen, that's 10 people that I get to interact with, and I love that. It's, to me, is a party. So I'm gonna do more live streams when I can. All this will be happening roughly around, I want to say next month. I'm gonna start really heavily doing this December because I'll have more free time during December. Why exactly? Because as of right now, I'm finally realizing how to kind of tighten my schedule. It's more because I've been in my job now for I've been almost 3 years now in my job. I've learned how to kind of work around my schedule, when to take vacations, stuff like that, so I can do more stuff like that. And I'm not gonna say obviously what my vacations are, but I have more time to myself on certain times because I know when to have these days off and kind of how to place time off and stuff like that. So I'll have more free time next month to do reviews. I'm going to do a few of the older stuff. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet. If you guys have recommendations, please leave in the comments below. If I've done it already, I'll let you know. I'll tell you, hey, listen, I've done that review already. I'll try to give you a link to the video if I can find it. But like I said, I've done a lot of stuff. I've had people in the past go, oh, you haven't reviewed this. And I'm like, yeah, okay. That was like my 50th review. Or that was my 100th review. It's like, I reviewed a lot. Especially the older stuff, because I try to go through the gambit of a lot of the older popular anime. And I've done it, mostly even the ones that are kind of low key, like the hidden gems that existed back in the 90s and the early 2000s. I kind of went through, not saying all of them obviously because that'd be impossible, but I went through a decent amount of them. So it's going to be definitely hard for some people to go, oh, let me recommend this, and they're like, oh, I got a review already for it. It's somewhere there. So yeah, but let me know what you want me to review. If I haven't already reviewed it, I would love to know in the comments below. ReZero, I know people were waiting for my ReZero review. That was the one I was going to talk about because I really wanted to do a ReZero review. ReZero was amazing. Season 2 was part 1 at least, because I think there's a second part coming out. I want to say January or sometime soon. But when the second part comes out, I'm going to probably do the whole review because I don't want to do just a one-part review. I think this show needs a full review, and it's going to be a long review. I'm going to make that into a significantly long review on purpose because I want to talk about ReZero. ReZero has definitely jumped to my top anime of all time, and there's various reasons. It's one of the few shows that can actually hit you emotionally very hard, and it's something I've never seen before in a lot of shows. Like, I've watched tons of anime. I'm actually at 1,000-something plus anime now watched on Mal. And Mal, by the way, Mal loves to freaking erase a lot of my stuff. I don't know why that is. It's either maybe because I'm signing in. When I sign in, I have like my old account, and then I have also when I sign in, I sign from my phone, and I sign also from the computer. I don't know what causes it, but maybe I'm using the app that's causing it. Whatever. I've had maybe like 100 of my shows disappear and change. And it's pissed me off because I'm like, if anyone's ever had that, let me know, because that's one of the strangest things about Mal. I love Mal. I still use it over other anime listing sites, but Mal's been a little strange with me, so it's kind of odd. But I have almost 1,000 shows, or above 1,000 shows at least, on there watched. Some of the ones that I have as watching, I'm already done with, and I haven't added them to, so that's kind of my fault. But it's definitely been where I've now watched a decent amount of shows in general, and I want to go back and do some other reviews for the stuff I've seen as of recent. So I really want to go and do like the older style. I really think that's going to be the best way for me to kind of come back to YouTube. So leave the ball in your court now, guys. In the comments below, tell me, what do you think about this kind of switch back? Do you have issues with it? I mean, it's gonna listen. Be honest with you. Listen, it's so just like no one wants me to do it. I won't do it, but I kind of want to go back to this. This is what I want to do. I want to go back to my older style of reviewing anime, in terms of going to like the older anime and talking about those rather than just talking about the all new mainstream stuff and the newer stuff in general. So I'm gonna do that. I want to do that at least. And in terms of other video content, I'm not gonna do the whole spin-off series I used to have, because I tried before and a lot of them, were more work than they should be. So I don't want to go back to that. Like, it's just. It was the thing I experimented with. All those. I think YouTube's always been with a lot of people who experiment, especially when you get bigger and you get more subscribers. You want to do more content that people start liking, and you start kind of taking jabs at trying other things because you're like, oh, if I try this, maybe that'll happen, or if I try this, this happen. Don't want to do that. So I've learned the hard way. So if you guys have recommendations for the stuff that you want me to watch or review and I haven't already done it, let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to help me out, you go check my Patreon if you want. It doesn't really per se, it's not necessary for me. I try to put my Patreon towards other cosplayers, towards other reviewers and stuff like that, because I kind of think that's the best way to do that, and it lets me kind of go to the people that aren't as seen by everyone, you know, because there's a lot. You'd be surprised how many cosplayers and how many things exist. I don't donate a lot of money to them, obviously, because I can't do that. I'm only right now. I think I'm only Patreon with like several people, at least at the moment, and donating like maybe $5 most, or like a couple dollars, but that's about it. But yeah, do that in the comments below, and and check out my Patreon link, check out my Twitter, etc. if you want more updates on certain things. And I will talk to you guys later. God bless you all, guys. Stay safe during this hard time. Don't party too hard, because obviously a lot of people think that it's like a free time with everything, they can party. Don't do that. It's dangerous out. Stay safe. Keep your family safe. Keep yourself safe, obviously. And have a good one, everyone. God bless you all. Bye bye.